It's recording. All right. Welcome, everybody. This is Rick Littrell, AMA Boston, and we're here to do our training for the new Basecamp, which we switched all our projects over into. Lou Savage is here with me to help me go through the process and ask questions, and this is going to be a quick one. So when you log in, and I'm just going to get into it. When you log in, you will see this range of various projects that you have access to. You will only see the projects that you were given access to. The VP or appropriate manager will add you the projects on an as needed basis as you're assigning more of them come up. Now, this organization, and this is obviously, I get to see everything. So this is how this particular template looks. If you want to make it look a different way, you can click this template, the middle template up here, and it shows up like this, and then you can assign your favorite project. So if I want to assign the Boston board my favorite, oh, I screwed that one up. Let's go back. So if I want the Boston board, that's right. I just go here, the star shows up, and then I put them in the star so they can see them. I want to know all the job descriptions. And this is part of your own personal setup, how you want to view. Then you can go to this, and it just shows a list, alphabetical order by the first letter of the name of the project. So this is a new feature that came along. So whatever you want, this is a personal setting. Okay. Now, as far as your personal setting, that me button up here in the middle, you see my information. You see the activity, your latest activity. So mine, what I worked on, files I've shared. So this is one of the ways you can search if you want to see something done. Oh, here is an old to do that I was supposed to do when, or we were supposed to get done for the Salesforce project. I haven't completed that yet, and when you do it to do, you can always hit that, assign somebody, and when you want them done, you can search on that. Now, my personal settings, you hit update personal settings, emails, dates, passwords, open your file. Now, I did run into one thing. I changed, recropped my picture and uploaded it doing the choose file, select a file, and I'm going to cancel because I got it. And then it uploads it. Then you save here. I uploaded a new file, said it uploaded successfully, didn't show up. And I sit there, I sent a question to Basecamp, and after you do that, you got to clean your cache of your browser. Then the picture will show up because that particular picture is cached. So if that happens to you, you know how to fix it. All right. So we'll go back to Basecamp. Tells me we've moved everything now into the new version. I'm not even going to spend time on the old version, but the old projects are still there. And so that's how you can view it and how you can adjust yourself. Now, there's one other, Basecamp settings. Now, this is where when you get notifications, how you want your notifications sent. And if I wanted only certain projects, I click it and click the projects I want notifications on. And how I get, whether I get a recap or something immediately or what's going on, I get them all. And I just say, send me all my projects. But you can turn projects on and off here in your personal settings. And here's this email. So this is, check mark. So that's how you set up your own personal Basecamp settings. Any question, Lou? What do you think?
No, looking good. Nice improvements.
I think so. I think so. So now we go to projects. Now, those of you that were involved in the previous Basecamp, the old version, which now that I've moved everything, but I'll just show you, I've moved everything out of it. Private messages went away, write boards went away. Any of you that did a private message, we had to unprivate it to get it into the system. There's no such thing anymore. And then the all the whiteboards turned into text files. So they use a text file basis. If you got a collaborative document, which Lou and I have talked about, perhaps Google Docs could be a place for a dynamic document, but I'll let you all make that call. Okay?
Very good.
Calendar, click on it. You can turn on and off certain projects. So you have a selection of all the projects here. You can subscribe them to iCal, the ones you have selected. They show up here. You can create a whole new calendar. All of these calendars are based on projects. And then here, you can track events that aren't part of a particular project. So this is how you set up a whole different calendar. Say if you had, but most of you are working on events, but if you were cross all groups, then maybe this would be a worthwhile tool to use. As just to inform people something's coming. Programming may want to end up using it, and some of the executive committee members may want to end up using it. So you want to, these are how projects. You click on the day you want, comes up. You can select time, which project it's associated with, that you're connected to, what date. You can go multiple dates. So if you want to, and it'll show it. I believe I did that for my vacation. And in here is you can say this is an automatic click reminder. Everybody on this project get a reminder 7 a.m. day of event. Or you can just select certain people for a certain reminder. So this is the way you can set up events. Okay, and when you're setting them up, you can add, optional notes here. Save the event. Okay, emails were sent. I have no idea what I just did, but I'm sure it's up there.
Who'd you send them to?
Yeah, so I didn't like it. Somebody got an email, 14 people. They're going to love this. I didn't like it. You always got look for this trash can here. Click it. It is now gone. Okay, off the calendar. So what do you think about the calendar, Lou? Any questions?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. So you could peel out your own if you're doing a special project that needed its own calendar. You could work it here. Would that map back to the main calendar, or it stays separate?
This is, remember, it all goes back. This is that aren't part of a particular. And when you add a calendar event, you're inviting certain people to that calendar. So this is a process to put a calendar up there that is not directly connected to a project, but you want multiple people
Yeah.
to know what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good for the social media team that we might be working on a particular strategy, content, for instance. We could have a separate calendar that resides there for just those folks on it. So yeah, that could be really helpful.
That could be helpful. And if there's not a project, if it's associated with the project somewhere else in there, just remember it's you don't want to get too granular and to where it's a pain to search. But searching is pretty powerful too. So you hit everything. You can browse every discussion. Click on that, shows you every discussion, chronological order that you got access to, that you can bounce in and out. So you can get a quick what's going on, which is important to use your subject line to, so if somebody's scanning for it. And oh, by the way, I can scan on words and titles and documents and names, just like think of a search inside of PDF. I can find anything here, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. But the everything button, all open to dos, all if you know the file somewhere, you're not sure where it's at, you can just click on it, go
I'll
scroll.
second I'll second your thought around good titles and naming
And
and
that
give
and that yeah,
thought to how
that's
that works. Because you search later, and when stuff gets nested in other stuff, good titling is going to pay off.
good titling's great, and you're absolutely right, Lou. And where we tend to be not as strong as we should be, a topic changes mid discussion. So the topic, the thread started out, Wonder what we're going to do Friday night, and somewhere in the middle it goes off to we need to have a strategy session just Saturday morning and talk about this. Now, if somebody's searching for that, they could search on Saturday. But you know what I mean? It's keeping the thread as tight as possible. But we all tend to wander.
Well, I think we've all got an inbox filled with that kind of stuff. So, exactly, pay careful attention to what your title is relative to the topic that's actually inside the project.
Absolutely. And even show all forwarded emails. And this is something I'm going to show you in a minute. You can, from your email client, send it into a Basecamp project. Every Basecamp project has a unique email address. And when you send it into that project, everybody that's in that project gets that email. So if there's a discussion going on outside Basecamp and you think it's mature, you want to edit it and then capture everything that was said, you go and get the email address, which I'm going to show you, to the project, copy it, put it to send it. So whenever you get a message to Basecamp, you can just respond. You don't have to go inside a Basecamp to answer. And that's the concept a lot of people have been they keep thinking they got to go into Basecamp. So I want to reinforce that, which allows you, and there is a good mobile structure for Basecamp, but if you're on the move or it's not in, check your emails, you don't have Basecamp in your tab, reply, go. The one thing I ask you before you reply, get rid of all the logos. Because what happens, they're treated as attached files and they all show up in the file section, and I end up, or somebody, usually me, because that just aggravates me to death. I go in and delete them all. So just keep that in mind, because logos in your signatures. So if you have attached files, somebody emailed you and they're associated with a project, you forward it into that project. All the files are put in the project. The email's there. The email's connected to the files. Everything's good. You don't have to repeat it.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Yeah,
You can see when you click on everyone, you can add people. I think Lou and me, admins, are the only ones. I've never seen a system that I wasn't admin. So, but I suspect you cannot add people, but you can see the people on the different companies, what they're doing, how you add companies. All committees are treated as companies, and people and projects you assign as and all people are either in one or two companies, the board or the volunteers, and that's how we got them organized. And this list shows recently active people. So see all 100, we have 125 people you want to see, and I'm not sure whether this is admin or not. I can scroll, but the good news is you don't have to do this. You can search. Okay.
yeah, nice.
So let's go to a project, and we'll go to the volunteer project. Volunteer support. You just go down, click on it. You see what's going on. You see discussions, to dos, files. You can invite more people. This is, that you add, and you can hit catch up on recent changes. You see what people recently changed, which was me. I was the most recent one in an up to minute log. See?
Yeah,
So you can see the activity of the group. You go back. You just scroll down. It goes discussions, to do list, and files. So all the files in the system will be right there, and you won't have any problem. You'll see the two more files, and now you see them all and scroll through them. So you can get, and at that point, if you want to, upload a file, it's the standard upload. Attach a file. Now, connect who you want to know about it. Here's a really, really important concept. And right now, all these people from the group, and I'll pull some of these out before I send it, but I know in this particular one, everybody gets access. That I upload a file, you only send messages or notices to people that you want to take action. I cannot stress that enough. You don't have to CC. If somebody wants to, if you want to keep somebody informed, my standard answer: check in Basecamp, because we're all getting killed with these CCs, and part of us we want to know, but I don't want to fill up my email box because they get lost because I get too many of them.
Yep, I'm right with you on that.
So don't get rid of the CC mentality. If people want to know what's going on in a project or latest activity, and whenever you send messages and upload files, those are typically the two areas where people feel a need to tell everybody. You don't have to, because if somebody's assigned to a project, they come in, they're going to see it if they
Yep.
want to see what's going on, and they'll see the thread and they'll see all the discussion. So this is all a good thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I have a question. You had that grouping that showed up, like the board and all the volunteers.
right.
We could add additional groups to that. And my, for instance, would be my entire social media team. If that could be a group in and of itself for an easy, quick pick, that would be great. And same for my team leaders. And just have those available for a quick pick, I'll call it, that you can
Okay.
just choose those people and you're ready to go.
And there is, all right. Damn, I don't see it. There is a way to do that. And it goes into, so let's say what you're doing. We go here, we're going to go into social. Where's social media? There it is. The whole,
Yeah, do the
oh,
team one,
this one or this one? Oh,
the
that's
one to the right,
programming.
the
This one.
BDMA.
So if I click on that, all right, and it tells me 31 people are on it, and they're showing, and it shows me the files, everything that's going on, right? Now, what I
Yep,
do is, and you can start, this is a star for favorite. I can check, once again, check up on all the mumbo jumbo that's been going on, but you can invite people. Now, this is an important concept. Where is it? There's where people are involved. You put them in, and where is it? Okay, somebody was sending email. This is admin stuff, but these are people on the project. And I'm going to tell you, I just lost because I did it once. You can go in and set groups within groups within groups, and there's a group. So that's how you do it. You don't have to set up a separate project unless you want to, but you can assign a group, and it's in there. I saw it. I wanted to do it, and I said I'll save that for the training. And guess what?
well, no problem. And not to get it too hung up here, but I think that flexibility is excellent. It'll just speed up everyone's ability to communicate with their particular teams with a click and not miss somebody, especially.
Well, that's exactly right. Because once you get groups, because there is sometimes a tendency, seeing it says upcoming events, so you're reminded when you log in. But all right, I'm gonna have to go back. We'll go make that a separate training. Shame on me for that. Where it was, see all 25. Okay, there it is. I knew it was there. Ha! Add a group or department inside of volunteers, because all
Right.
volunteers are inside volunteers. So if I go name the group social media leaders, right?
Yep.
And then I go through and select the ones that do it.
Yeah.
All right. And
Perfect.
then I say create the group, and Lude, to make sure we don't trash, break anybody too much. Now, see, we're not in this as board members. So
Yeah.
it doesn't cross volunteers, then you got to do board members, you can group it. So that's one thing that I see a weakness in this technique, and you're not able to assign a group inside a project. The group is inside the volunteers is a company.
Yeah. Well, I'll do a test after we complete this video and set some of these up. And, as we do additional trainings, we can add to this and make it more understandable.
Absolutely. Yeah, that one I got to apologize. And the other thing, I tell you what, I'm loving this one. If I know what top, this search is all powerful. I'm going to call it the all powerful search. If I want to see everything Rick did, I can see the person, or I see, okay, what's Rick been up to? And it's Rick's picture, it's in the title, okay? So it shows up, it does inside of content. If I want to define Luke, search messages and to dos. So Lou posted something, messages. So if you know the name of a file, let's say membership. There's the files with membership in the name.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, this was a much more powerful search than the other one. So that's a really good, that's a beautiful. And if you want to get what's new from the old, if you're interested, you can click on this new button and look at it. And, they got videos and links, and they got a pretty good support network. I send it when you have a support issue, you hit the support tab. It has some FAQs. And if you want to contact them or file support, I filed a question on that. I didn't understand what happened to the whiteboards, and they answered me in about 2 hours, which I consider pretty good considering
Yeah.
the size of their installed base. Now that showed up in a separate tab. I go back, I get back to projects, and gentle people, that's pretty much Basecamp. If I'm okay, well, I'll send you another thing, and I'll go into volunteers. No, I'll go into board and I'll go into job descriptions. And if I want to start a discussion, you hit a discussion, you put your topic, test, okay? Hi, Lou. Very limited formatting, bullets, numbers, italic, bold, quotes, good luck. You can attach files from your computer, you can drag and drop. Then I want Lou to get this message. And if I want to select people from other areas, companies that are assigned it, I can remove them or delete them. See what happened to AMA
Mm-hmm.
Boston. If I want all the board, I can click it and I get them all. Click that. Now, this is a new feature and this is very cool. Loop in someone who isn't on the project. Say, here's one, outside speaker, or you want to invite somebody to an event and there was a good description of it or whatever. So you can do this, type in, and I'll do my Gmail account at gmail.com. Post this message. So now Lou got it. It's a test right here. And I suspect if I go to my Gmail account and not there yet, it's awful slow today. No, Lou sent it. Takes a few minutes, evidently. The other day, I guess it has to do with volume right now. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
But it loops them in, but it doesn't give them access to everything. So that's the important thing to remember. You post it, you don't like it, you go here, you go back, and only the poster can do this. Delete. You can go back and edit, which I've done before, even though they got sent a notice. I noticed a typo and I didn't want them to think I was a complete idiot. So I go in and fix a typo, even though the email was gone.
Yeah.
If you put a message or anything, any of these in a project, you can move it to another project. Move this because you made a mistake, and we've done this several times. I don't want to retype it. Okay, that was a mistake. We'll just come, or we decide to organize different, so I can pick where to move it and hit move this message. All files, all threads associated with it go with it. So that way you can correct when it's pretty flexible. In this case, I delete it, delete this message. Of course, it's got to ask you twice. It's gone. Never existed. Even though, all right, no. That's Basecamp. And we did it in 28 minutes.
Yeah, not bad. Good to see it in all in one swoop like that. First time for me. And hopefully this helps folks just get up to speed with it quicker. I know it'll be a plus for the social media team. They're really starting to embrace it. So every little bit where we train someone further down the line, I think it's the best thing we can do.
Absolutely. I'll take this recording now. I'm going to process it. It becomes an MOV file. I'll probably post it in Basecamp and let the web team and the social media team have their way with it.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thanks for your time. And Lou, thank you as always for your support and assistance in this training. And I will talk to you all later.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Rick, for taking us through it. Much appreciated.
I appreciate it, man. Take care. Bye.